All right, okay, buckle up, everyone, because, wow, there's some really unexpected news dropping in the DC universe. Thursday, it's got everyone talking.
Oh, yeah, definitely buzzing.
We've got the inside scoop on the next, major DC Studios solo film, and get this, it's Clayface.
Clayface. A Batman villain, yeah.
Exactly. A familiar name? Maybe, but definitely underexplored for a solo movie. Now, I know on the surface that sounds maybe a bit bold, possibly even puzzling.
A little out of left field for some, maybe.
Right. But that's our mission today. We're going to unpack why this character, maybe seen as obscure by some, is getting the spotlight. We'll dig into his really interesting history and what this means for the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the whole evolving DC cinematic universe.
Yeah, let's do it. Because this isn't just another casting announcement. This feels strategic, a statement from DC Studios about the kinds of stories they want to tell.
Totally agree. It signals a really interesting direction.
Okay.
So, first bombshell, the casting. Welsh actor Tom Rhys Harries. He's landed the title role. And for a character like Clayface, so much potential for just CGI, going with a, quote, fresh face like Harries. That feels significant. It suggests maybe there's a real human core they're exploring.
It does. And what's really fascinating, if you peek behind the curtain, is the creative team they've put together. I mean, James Watkins is directing.
Being no evil director.
Exactly. Known for that really chilling psychological tension. So that's a clue right there. And the producers. Wow.
Yeah. Who they got?
Well, obviously James Gunn and Peter Safran. They're leading the charge. But also Matt Reeves, the Batman filmmaker.
Interesting. Reeves involved, too.
Yep. And Lynn Harris. Plus Chantal Nong as executive producer. It's a powerhouse. And then there's the writing talent. Mike Flanagan.
Wait, Mike Flanagan? Haunting of Hill House Flanagan.
The very same. He pens the first draft. Which tells you a lot. And then additional drafts by Hossein Amini, Oscar nominated for Drive.
Okay, wow. So this isn't just like a throwaway villain movie. This feels like an event, creatively speaking.
Absolutely. You can feel the ambition behind it.
And logistics-wise, for anyone wondering, we're hearing it's going to shoot at Warner Bros. Leavesden Studio over in the UK.
Makes sense. Big UK production hub.
And get this release date, September 11th, 2026. So mark your calendars. That puts it right after Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
So it's the next big one up after Kara. Yeah, they're definitely building out a very deliberate slate. It's not random.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk Tom Rhys Harries, who is the actor stepping into this incredibly complex, shape-shifting role. He's a rising star, right, from Wales.
Definitely. A really impressive resume he's been building kind of steadily, shows a lot of versatility.
Like, what have we seen him in?
Well, on TV, he was great alongside Uma Thurman in that Apple TV series, Suspicion.
Oh, right. I remember that one.
And film-wise, he's done serious drama, like The Return with Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche. But also action, he was in Kandahar with Gerard Butler.
Okay, so he can handle different genres.
Totally. And Guy Ritchie fans might know him from The Gentleman. Oh, and also White Lines on Netflix, that Alex Pina series. Very different vibe again.
So he's been putting in the work, quietly building this really strong career across different kinds of projects. And from what we understand, getting this Clayface role, it wasn't easy.
No, sounds like it was super competitive.
Yeah, we heard some pretty big names were in the mix. Other prominent British actors, like Jack O'Connell, 28 years later, lead.
Wow.
Tom Blythe from the Hunger Games prequel, and George McKay from 1917.
That's some serious competition. So landing it over them, that says a lot about what the studio sees in Harries.
Definitely speaks volumes about his talent.
Yeah, and his potential. He trained at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, solid foundations, born in Cardiff. And he's got stage experience, too.
Oh, really? Like West End stuff?
Yeah, made his debut back in 2013. Jez Butterworth's play Mojo, shared the stage with Colin Morgan, Rupert Grint, Ben Whishaw.
Wow, that's quite the company. That kind of stage background, it must give you something extra, right? For a complex role.
Absolutely. It hones your ability to really, inhabit a character, which is exactly what Clayface needs. It's not just about the goo.
Right. Which brings us back to the big question. Why Clayface? With all this talent involved, this intense casting search, what is it about this character that warrants this kind of spotlight right now?
It's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Let's dig into Basil Karlo. His origins are kind of theatrical, which feels fitting.
It really is. So Clayface, fundamentally, he's a classic shapeshifter from the Batman comics. Goes way back Detective Comics, #40, June 1940.
Wow, 1940, golden age stuff.
Exactly. And while Basil Karlo is the original, the one most people probably think of, the Clayface identity, it's actually been used by several different characters over the years.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, different powers, different tragic backstories. There's Matt Hagen, who got powers from like a radioactive pool. Preston Payne had this horrific corrosive touch. It gives the filmmakers a lot to potentially draw from, not just Karlo.
But Karlo's original story,
Yeah.
the actor angle, that's unique. He wasn't just like mutated by accident initially.
Right. The original Karlo was this moderately successful actor, maybe a bit past his prime. He turns to crime and takes on the identity of a character he played in a horror film.
And that look, the body seemingly made of shifting clay. It's grotesque, but also kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
Instantly recognizable in the comics.
Absolutely iconic. And the power itself, the shape-shifting, it taps into something deeper than just physical change, right? That instability of identity. It's psychologically rich territory.
Totally. Which might be why, even if he's not Joker-level famous.
Right, he's not a household name like Joker or maybe even Riddler.
He's still shown up a lot over the years.
Oh, constantly. Animated series, video games, other media. He's a well-established part of Batman's rogues gallery, always brought this unique kind of body horror element, which could make for some really distinct cinema.
So connecting the dots, what's the big strategy here for DC Studios? Is this Gunn and Safran saying, we're going to get weird with it, redefine the comic book movie?
I think it fits perfectly into their whole game plan. They're building this cohesive universe, yeah, but also a really diverse one.
Diverse in what way? Genre? Tone?
All of the above, potentially. This Clayface movie signals they're willing to explore characters way beyond the A-list. It's not just about heroes and villains we already know inside out. It's about the type of story.
Like this could be their psychological thriller, maybe. Yeah. Or lean into horror.
Exactly. Or a tragic character study, all wrapped up in a comic book package, but offering something different.
And we are seeing other big moves from them. Superman is obviously huge, expected to open massive. Peacemaker Season 2 is getting tons of buzz for Comic-Con.
Right. So Clayface fits into that pattern. It's part of this broader, more varied slate, not just the usual tent poles, but taking chances on different kinds of characters and tones.
So why Clayface specifically? Why pour resources into him?
I think it strongly suggests they're pushing for genre variety, like really embracing the weirder, wilder corners of the DCU. Imagine a proper body horror film starring Clayface. Or a deep dive into identity loss. That's territory superhero movies haven't really explored much.
Okay, which leads us right into the debate that's definitely happening online right now. Because people are asking, can a character like Clayface really carry a whole movie by himself?
Yeah, there's definitely skepticism. You see the comments, right? People worried it's going to be another Blue Beetle situation, maybe. Or Madam Web, Morbius, Craven. These movies based on characters most mainstream audiences haven't really heard of.
Right. The argument being that maybe he works great as a Batman villain.
But doesn't deserve his own movie, yeah. Or some just see him as like a lower level or even disgusting villain. There's that fear of, character fatigue or just plain audience disinterest if it's not a big recognizable name.
Okay, but then you got to look at the other side because there are so many examples that just blow that thinking out of the water.
Precisely. That's the crucial counter-argument. Think about Guardians of the Galaxy. Who knew Rocket Raccoon or Groot before that movie?
Nobody. They were deep cuts for sure.
And look how beloved they became. Because the movie had heart, it had a unique voice. Or look at Peacemaker. Took a character who was, frankly, kind of unlikable in the movie.
Yeah, definitely not a clear hero.
And turned him into a massive fan favorite through humor and, surprising depth. Ant-Man wasn't exactly A-list before his movie. Blade basically created the modern superhero horror vibe way before the MCU.
So it's not just that unknown characters can succeed, it's how. It's about the execution, the unique take.
Exactly. It often hinges on finding that fresh angle, maybe bending genres, using the character's specific traits in a cool, unexpected way.
And having someone like Mike Flanagan involved, even just for the first draft, that builds a certain amount of trust, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Flanagan's name carries weight. People know him for quality, for character depth, often with that horror influence. It suggests this won't be generic.
It makes you think maybe DC is deliberately aiming for a wider variety of movies, not just the same formula over and over.
Could be a conscious move away from what some see as a more homogenous approach elsewhere. Maybe Clayface leans hard into tragedy or body horror. That's exciting because it's different.
It really is fascinating watching these debates play out. What makes a character worthy of a movie? How much risk will audiences embrace? Because this Clayface film, it feels like more than just one movie. It's like a test case, maybe. A sign of DC's willingness to take creative risks, to really push the boundaries of what a superhero or villain movie can even be.
Yeah, it challenges assumptions. Can a character perceived as lesser lead a blockbuster? Can you tell these really nuanced, maybe darker stories within this genre? It's creative risk versus audience expectation played out on a massive scale.
It's a gamble, really.
Yeah.
A gamble on the idea that audiences are maybe hungry for something genuinely different.
It definitely makes you rethink the whole comic book movie landscape. I mean, think about all the unexpected characters who've broken through. What does Clayface getting his own film tell us about where genre storytelling might be heading? And maybe, where do you think the line is? What are audiences really willing to embrace next?
That's the big cooking. We really want to hear what you think. Let us know your take on the Clayface movie, Tom Rhys Harries, the whole strategy. Drop your opinions in the comments section below.
Yeah, get involved in the conversation.
And, hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive and unpacking all this DC news with us, do us a solid. Smash that like button and definitely subscribe to the channel. It really helps support BuzzReels and keeps you plugged into all the latest movie and TV buzz.
Please do.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.